He's back. He's back, boys. Roman Abramovich is back in Chelsea. He has made a rare visit to visit his family in London. It's been 3 years since he was last spotted at Chelsea in terms of the location, in terms of the area, which is in London, situated in London. Now, there are some rules whether he's allowed to visit Stamford Bridge or if he can come and, of course, attend games, because that is technically work since it is one of his assets, because he is the owner of Chelsea. We'll have to wait and see what happens in terms of developments, but Roman is back. That's confirmed. He's definitely flying to London. Let's see what happens. Some major news. We'll be speaking about Christopher Nkunku from RB Leipzig, Chelsea, and various other Premier League clubs interested in securing his signature. We'll also be speaking about the young rated teenage superstar from Bayer Leverkusen, Florian Wirtz. Again, another superstar from Leverkusen. Havertz was the last one we signed. Hasn't turned out well so far. Of course, we need patience and time with Havertz, but another player that we are interested in. But before I do get into all of it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions on each story that I do speak about. But without further ado, let's get straight into this news daily and starting off with the major news, the breaking news. Roman Abramovich is back in London. Chelsea owner Roman has made a rare trip to London to visit his family. So let's get that clear straight away. He's not come back because of business ventures or business reasons, and that would be, of course, Chelsea, because he is the owner of Chelsea. He's come back simply just to visit family. He could make a visit to the club while he's in the capital, but that's not been confirmed, and nor is that definite. He may just come to London and never visit Stamford Bridge. Abramovich has travelled to London as an Israeli citizen, therefore entering the United Kingdom without the need for a visa. This is the first time he has been seen in London since 2018. Now, I need to give you guys some background information. I need to give you guys some exclusive, just not really exclusive, just it's well known news, but for some of you guys that don't know the situation as to why Roman's not in London. Now, some of you may be thinking, why is this big news? You know, surely Roman can visit London whenever he pleases, whenever he likes. He's the owner of Chelsea, and why has he not come to Stamford Bridge since 2018? And there's a big reason for that, something that's simply out of his control. You know, before 2018, if you guys cast your minds back, you know, a few years ago, he used to visit every single home game. He'd always be in his box, in the conference box in Stamford Bridge. He'd always watch every single Premier League game, Champions League game. You'd see him present in every single games. And since 2018, this hasn't been the case. Now, it's nothing to do with family or other business ventures and opportunities. It's simply been the fact that he's not allowed entry into the UK because of his close ties with the likes of Vladimir Putin in Russia. The UK government have banned him from entry. Now, he hasn't got a British passport, so he can't just enter the UK as he pleases. He has to get a specific visa for him to stay in the UK for a certain period of time. When that visa is up, he then has to extend that visa. Now, in 2018, his visa ended to be essentially allowed to live in Britain, and of course he had to extend that visa. UK government denied the extension of that visa, and hence why he had to leave the UK. And the big reason for that is because, of course, his close ties with Vladimir Putin. The Russian government, the UK government, it's all politics. They haven't got close relationship. They've got, you know, there's a bit of friction going on between the two governments, and as a result, Roman has been denied entry. Now, he's tried to find some loopholes here and there, and one of these loopholes is the fact that he's then, after a couple of years ago, he became an Israeli citizen. Now, to become an Israeli citizen, you have to be a Jewish person, and by religion, Roman is actually a Jewish person. So he was granted Israeli citizenship, and then as an Israeli citizenship, he was then allowed entry into the UK. So he found a loophole, and of course he was granted entry because of his Israeli citizenship. But as a Russian, he's not allowed in the UK. Now, the rule is, I read up on this, the rule is he is not allowed to visit any of his businesses, any of his assets in the UK while he's in the UK. He's only allowed to visit. Now, does that mean that technically he can't come to Stamford Bridge? Because Chelsea is one of his assets. It's continuously growing in terms of revenue, profit, the club value, the size of the value is continuously growing. So it's an asset for Roman Abramovich. It's still a business to him. So again, is he allowed to visit Stamford Bridge? Who knows? Technically, no, because it's a business. But at the same time, he could say, I'm just visiting a sporting event. The same could be said with Cobham. So that's really up in the air. We don't know. Hence why there is a question mark. It's unknown whether he will visit Stamford Bridge while he's in the capital. So who knows? God knows at this point. Let's wait and see with more further developments. But it's big news. Roman is 100% coming to London. Listen, it's a big thing because when he's in London, the big boss is in London. It means that, you know, things a bit more tidier. He can go visit Thomas Tuchel. He can go visit the players at Cobham training ground as well. And it's just nice to see Roman because he genuinely cares for the club. He genuinely cares for Premier League football. And it's just nice to see the big owner back at Chelsea, especially after so many years of not being able to come to Stamford Bridge. But what do you guys think on that news? Now let's talk about the situation in terms of Christian Nkunku. Now Christian Nkunku is a player that's currently been scouted by Chelsea. Now, Christian Nkunku does have a history of Thomas Tuchel. They worked together at Paris Saint-Germain. He was a youngster, developing through the academy, breaking into the first team while Thomas Tuchel was there. So they've got a close relationship at Bonds. Thomas Tuchel given him various opportunities. However, his agent, Pini Zahavi, again, has close ties and relationships with Roman Abramovich himself, who is the agent of the RB Leipzig midfielder Christopher Nkunku, has spoken to Chelsea, Real Madrid and Manchester City about a possible move. This was broken by the Daily Mail, of course, and there were some other developments. There were some further developments in regards to Christopher Nkunku, and that is that RB Leipzig are looking for a new transfer record. This is broken by Sports Bill, the German publication. A new transfer record to cut ties with Christopher Nkunku, meaning that they'll want a fee in excess of 60 million euros to let him leave. Nkunku's performances have finally dispelled any doubts that Thomas Tuchel had. Now, 60 million euros is a substantial offer. It's an astronomical amount, but again, he's a quality footballer. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to lie here and say, I've watched so much of this guy. I've watched minimal amounts because I don't watch the Bundesliga week in, week out, and we know that with the history of the Bundesliga, it takes a lot of time for these players to acclimatise to the Premier League if they do sign for Premier League clubs. We've seen this with first hand, with Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. So again, 60 million euros is a lot of money. I don't believe that is a release clause. There is no release clause within his contract, so therefore it will have to be strict negotiations with RB Leipzig themselves. But in terms of 60 million euros, again, he's a midfielder. He's very, very quick, fast. He's a goal scorer. He creates a lot of assists. He creates chances. Again, he could fill that creativity position. I keep stressing on this channel that we have a creativity crisis. We don't have enough players who can play in our final third passes, who have that spark of creativity, who can unlock low blocks in the final third. We haven't got that creative cam, and I believe Nkunku does have the characteristics and attributes from what I've seen from him and from what I've researched in terms of his best attributes. Now, I need to watch more of him to get a more conclusive decision on him, and of course from now on, the fact that we have actually been linked to Nkunku, I will in my free time watch a bit more RB Leipzig just to keep an eye on Christopher Nkunku to see if he actually has a skill set to be our creative player. Again, he needs time to acclimatise if he does sign for the Bundesliga, but 60 million euros is a lot of money. I think more scouting is required. In my personal opinion, I think it's a bit too early and premature to go out and spend that kind of money. But the fact that Man City and Real Madrid, all three clubs are superstar league clubs here, Man City, Real Madrid, Chelsea, all interested in his signatures. Let's wait and see what happens in terms of developments. What do you guys think of Nkunku? Do you rate him? Do you guys watch him on a week-to-week basis? Do you think he'd add a lot to Chelsea? Or do you think we have players similar in terms of what he can provide, and that as a result we would not need him? But what do you guys think? What is your opinion on the player? Leave me your thoughts down in the comment section below. But let's move on to Florian Wirtz, the Bayer Leverkusen teenage superstar wonderkid. Premier League clubs, broken by Fabrizio Romano, among many others, are following Florian Wirtz's situation closely. Bayer Leverkusen consider him untouchable, and he doesn't have a release clause. Now, that is broken by Fabrizio Romano. There's more news by Sports Bill. Chelsea are one of the clubs who regularly watching Bayer Leverkusen star Florian Wirtz. His value is expected to reach 100 million euros in the next couple of years, and that is an absolutely astronomical amount. Florian Wirtz, 18 years of age, is already Bayer Leverkusen's best player, and again, it's giving us flashbacks to Kai Havertz because we signed him from the same club. We signed him as a teenage superstar for an astronomical fee, and the fact that Havertz hasn't essentially been a fantastic signing as of late. Now, in terms of Florian Wirtz, he's not a similar player to Kai Havertz whatsoever. He's more of a dribbler. In terms of characteristics and stylistically, they're completely different. Kai Havertz is more of a glider. He's really good in terms of passing, close range control, shooting, and he's basically more of a poacher. Whereas Florian Wirtz is more of a more of a creator. He's much shorter, meaning he's a lot more feeble, a lot more agile. Sensational close control, really good in those tight areas, those tight spaces, doesn't lose the ball often, retains possession, really good press resistance. He gets good numbers in terms of goals and assists, although that is relatively redundant in the Bundesliga, yet still 18 years of age, he's still producing relatively good numbers. Already Bayer Leverkusen's best player. for me, I think it's a bit too early to sign him again. Just like with Christopher Nkunku, we need to watch him a bit more. Yes, it's good that we're regularly scouting, it's good, but this needs to continue. And yes, the longer we wait, the more his price tag will increase, but we need to make sure that if you're going to be splashing 80 to 90 million plus upwards, north of that, you need to ensure that he is the perfect player. He is the guy that's going to take us to the next level. Because yes, he's young, but if he has the attributes and skill sets that can be nurtured by a top-class manager like Thomas Tuchel, then he will be a sensational signing. There's no doubt about that. Now, people saying he's similar to Kai Havertz, he's not. Stylistically, they're completely different players. They can both play together. They're compatible. For me, it would be a good signing, but it would be a tremendous signing. He's a superstar. However, we need to watch him more. You know, it's early days. This really is his first breakout season. Last season was his really first breakout season, so we need to watch more of him, see where he leads up. But what do you guys think? Do you think we need Florian Wirtz or we do not? Leave me your thoughts and opinions. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.